When I grew up, I lived in a small river town, Rapid City, Illinois, and we were just a few miles down the road from a drag strip there, and that was one of our favorite pastimes, and those cars all left an impression, and that just kind of stuck with me. When I'm going point A to point B in a 60s era muscle car, it just takes me back to my youth and the fun of what it was like to be a kid and ride with my dad or my older brother. So it really feels like when I'm driving into the office, it could be 1966 or 7. It really is a throwback. Sometimes it's fun to hop in the Coronet and maybe I'll just go pick Megan up and bring her into work. That way we can chit chat about our day or what's going to go on in the office, and just starts the day off, you know, just right. This is a 1966 Dodge Coronet 500 with a 426 Hemi engine. It's really fun not only to drive one of these cars, but to share the experience with another person, especially a young person that wasn't even born at a time when these cars were made. Megan here, for example, was born in the late 1980s, and it's fun to see someone of that age be able to drive something from that golden era of high performance. My restoration shop business is 18 years old now, and I started out on my own. Then I grew it with some great employees, but as of the last couple of years, we brought on my daughter, Megan, to be the office manager, and that has made us so much more efficient that it's just that much more pleasurable every day. The employees that I have, seeing them thrive and work at their skill, and with Megan in particular, just the experience and being around them. There's a lot of really good folks in the car business as well. So just seeing them all interact is very gratifying. I really like keeping pieces of history alive and going forward, so we try our hardest to get cars to be restored as close to assembly line as possible. But the reason I like the Coronet and cars like that is it's an original car. So that tells us the reality of the 1960s assembly process. So we use a car like that all the way through the restoration of a similar car. And so really they're invaluable pieces of history.
Talking to Gary about this Coronet and it being the same type of Coronet that my grandpa would race back in the day, he's definitely able to bridge that gap, because there's a lot that I didn't know about my grandpa, especially as far as, you know, the type of vehicle or how long he raced or any of the details. But for him to be able to fill me in on those details and just kind of explain this piece of history that I never really got to experience, that he understands more of, is great. Driving this vehicle is very freeing, mentally, physically. It's a way to connect with my grandfather as a younger man than just as the grandpa that I knew as an older gentleman. Driving this 1966 Dodge Coronet like my grandpa was able to race back in the day is completely different than driving a modern car. When I first started driving it, obviously, I didn't realize that you were going to have to use some muscle to turn the steering wheel or use some muscle to get it to actually stop. But to be able to just go fast and open it up and feel the wind in your hair and smell the gas as you're burning it, or smell the brakes as you're burning them because you're trying to slow down, is truly a unique experience. Since I've come into the car world a few years ago, everybody that I've come into contact with so far has definitely just been extremely friendly. It's an amazing community. Most of the people who are in it because they love it. So to just be able to see so many different people in their areas of expertise, it's very gratifying. It's not something everyone gets to experience.
A new car is better in almost every way than an old car, but the biggest difference and the most important one is character. Sure, a new car is great utilitarian, but I guess it's just an experience to drive an old car.
My name is Megan Caceres, and this is why I drive.
My name is Gary Riley, and this is why I drive.